You're the only three that.
Good to call our meeting to order. Let's have the roll call.
Kessler. Walters.
Here.
Garvey.
Here.
Stewart.
Here.
Benner.
Here.
Parton.
Here.
Trump.
Here.
Thompson.
Here. Tonight's indication will be given by Councilman Benner.
Would you bow your heads and pray with me, please? Father in heaven, we give you thanks for this evening you've given to us, for this time that we can meet together and consider this business. And we ask, Lord, for your wisdom, your grace, and your patience and understanding. And thank you that all good things come from you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. The pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll start tonight's business with a special order A, presentation of a check to cars for the cause regarding the party in the sector.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have Jamie and Philip here with Cars for the Cause. We had Party in the 060, and we donated a portion of the proceeds from Party in the 060 to Cars for their Cause, with their cause being Carter Strong and the Stedman family. So, Jamie would like to come up and take our picture. Jack, picture. Oh, $450.
Item B is a proclamation designating July as Park and Recreation Month. Need a motion to approve that proclamation? Mr. Trump?
I make a motion that we approve the proclamation designating July as Park and Recreation Month.
Second.
Motion second to designate July as Park and Recreation Month. Discussion? Question?
Walters.
Yes.
Garvey.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Trump.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Go on with the presentation and approve the minutes, minutes of June 11th, 2018. Is there?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes of June 11, 2018 meeting as published.
Second. Motion second to approve the minutes for June 11th, 2018. Discussion? Question?
Walters.
Yes.
Garvey.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Trump.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Item 1, citizens to be heard. A, Sedgwick County Fire Department.
Can't hear anything. I'll speak loud.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, Kevin Tony Tracy, Central County Fire Department, Station 34. This will end monthly numbers for the last 30 days have been pretty quiet for the most part. We've made 116 alarms within the city limits of Haysville during the last 30 days, which is pretty much our average. Kind of like normal, our vast majority are medical and assist and insured for disabled people. Since the citizen type calls, we had a grand total of $1,000 of fire loss. So it's been pretty uneventful as far as fires go, which is very good. And other current events, I don't really have a lot to report. It's been a quiet first part of June and the end of May, which we enjoyed, especially with the wheat harvest going, which is generally can be pretty traumatic for us with standing wheat fires and crop loss, but we really didn't have anything of any significance, and I think we're all grateful for that because it's no fun in the hot weather. So
Very good.
and that's really all I have unless you have any questions.
Seeing none, we appreciate you coming over and informing us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That will then do it. Item 3, introduction. Well, item 2, approval license and bond. We have none. Then item 3 is introduction of ordinance and resolutions. A, an ordinance levying special assessments on certain property to pay the cost of internal improvements in the city of Haysville, Kansas, as previously authorized by the resolution number 17-03 and 1704 of the city, and providing for the collection of spatial assessments. A, public hearing. B, consideration of the ordinance. So what we will do at this time, we always have a direct script that we'll read from for the opening of our public hearing. So at this point, I'd entertain a motion to open the public hearing relating to Orchard Acres and Dirk Street spatial assessments. Ms. Parton?
I make a motion, we open the public hearing for Dirk Street and Orchard Acres special assessments.
Second.
Motion second to open the public hearing. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Burton?
Yes.
Hewitt?
Yes.
Finner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Okay, the public hearing is now formally opened. Have any council members had any outside contacts regarding this case? If so, please indicate who you have spoken with and the nature of the conversation and what items from the conversation might affect your decision. Council? You want?
Bruce, don't you have a microphone up there?
We can't hear.
No, I do not.
We can't hear you. We
Can't hear?
might as well be outside.
We'll try and speak up and see if you can hear a little better. Does that help when I'm speaking that high?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if we can speak up a little bit, but no, the only mics we have are at the podium. So. Council, any contacts again at this point? Seeing no contacts? Do a member of the council have a conflict of interest in this case? If so, please disqualify yourself from further action on the city council over this case. You may choose to speak as a member of the public. Any conflicts of interest, council? Seeing none, we'll go then to, has staff had any contact, written or otherwise, regarding this matter? If so, please read or describe. Anything, staff? No? Okay. At this point, we have Mitch, Walter, and Jake, is that Edgar? Edgar. With Gilmore and Bell. Would you please present the item and the report for us?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mitch Walter with Gilmore and Bell, bond counsel to the city. We are still in the public hearing phase of this item, but I can just present and give an overview of the projects. I'm also filling in for Garth Herman tonight, who has been working with the city on these two projects, but unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, so I'm pinch hitting a little bit. But these two projects were begun a while ago. Last year, January of last year, the city indicated that it was going to cause the improvements to be made pursuant to the special assessment law. There was a public hearing that was held concerning the advisability of the project last February. After that took place, the city council adopted resolutions actually determining that the projects were advisable and began construction. Once the projects were complete, construction was complete, and final costs were known, the city has previously accepted those final costs, caused an assessment roll to be prepared, and given notice to the interested property owners that there is going to be a public hearing that was scheduled, which is what we're doing right now. So we're at that portion of the proceedings in the public hearing, after which the council will have the option to go ahead and consider the ordinance actually levying the assessments on the properties. The way that the assessments broke out, there are, for the Orchard Acres project, there are 42 lots. The total cost of the project was $597,883,000. The city at large is going to pay $58,987 of those costs, which leaves each lot to be assessed, 42 lots, for $12,830.86 per lot. Interest will be added to that. The interest will be matched generally to the city's bonds that it will issue to reimburse itself for those the construction costs. On the Dirk Street project, there are 23 lots. The costs are assessed equally per lot. The total cost of the project is $321,881. The city is picking up $31,756 of that cost, and each lot's assessment on those 23 lots would be $12,614.12, again, plus interest. I'd be happy to answer any questions that the governing body may have as well.
I don't see any. Thank you for presenting that for us. Next thing in public hearing, it's time for members of the public to speak. If you don't want to speak, you'll have 5 minutes. If you're presenting good factual information, this time may be extended by the council vote. Please come forward and state your name and address first for the records. Anyone from the public and the public hearing that would like to speak at this time, please come forward, state your name and address, and tell the council what you'd like to hear in the public hearing.
Good evening. I'm Marion Renner. I live at 1207 East Riley Avenue in Orchard Acres, and we have a beautiful new street. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to ask you about the method of payment, because the letter was kind of ambiguous, say you'll be billed once a year or something like that. And I want to know, because I have paid off my mortgage completely, as so have a lot of people down there. So will you send out a monthly statement or a yearly statement? And what rate of interest will we be charged?
Usually what happens is you'll have the option of paying off your full amount, the full 12,000 or whichever street that you're on. And then if you don't, that will then be spread, I think we're spreading on 15 years.
That is correct.
And at what rate?
That's the thing that we don't know yet.
Okay.
The rates are typically tied to the rates on the bonds that are sold to provide permanent financing for the project.
So we'll go out.
So you don't know how much interest it will be yet?
We'll sell the bonds basically, and then we have the interest rate. Then that can be spread over the 15-year basis. You will then get on your, when you get your real estate taxes, you'll have that assessment on your real estate taxes.
It'll be on, okay, comes once a year with real estate taxes?
Well,
That's
as you
how-
know now, you get real estate taxes twice a year.
Oh, yeah, twice a year, right.
Yeah, when you have the option of paying all of them at once or paying twice a year,
Right.
and that will be on your real estate
You're
tax.
gonna put the whole 12,000 on there, or just?
No, just what your annual would be.
Just on-
So if it comes out,
Okay.
if it comes out $70 a month, breaking down, then it could be $840 a year that you could pay,
Okay.
or it could be half of that if you don't want to pay half of it.
Okay, that helps a little bit, but I still want to know, as soon as you can find out, what the rate of interest will be that we'll be paying on it.
Yeah.
If we do it that way, because if it's, if my investments are drawing a higher rate of interest, of course, I'm going to pay it out slowly. If it's lower, I'll try to pay it all at once or as fast as I can.
Hopefully, your investments are paying a higher interest rate.
I hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Marion. Anyone else that would like to speak, please come forward and state your name and address for us, and to the podium, please.
Give them back the grass, give them back the grass, man, the grass.
Hello, Mayor, council members. My name's Dan Kaywood. I live at 336 South Twin Pines, and yes, like Mrs. Renner said, we love the streets. I've had a concern since the project has been going on. When they came in and backfilled everything, all the water meters for the houses were covered over. I brought this up to 3 of the city people that were out there, and they've told me 3 different times it would be taken care of. They're still covered over in case there were a fire or something like that, and they had to have access to the water shut off. It's unavailable. And secondly, the fire hydrant at Dirk and Twin Pines is below level. The fire department, if they have to hook on, they're going to have to, they've come out and piddled with it, and we had notification the water was going to be shut off. We assumed to fix the fire hydrant. That hasn't been done yet.
Okay.
And probably the most concerning thing that most people have brought up and talked about is whatever type of rye that they put out on those yards is not a seed for the yards. Nobody likes it. It's not in the neighborhood. Well, I can't give you a percentage and be fair.
Sure.
The majority of the yards are fescue.
Okay.
And what they put out is cattle food. So if something could be done with that before this proposal was finished, it would be appreciated for that company.
Yeah, it probably won't be done before this proposal is finished, but we'll know, we can take all those basically and yes, work on each and every one of those. Sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate your
Is it the whole addition that's covered, the water meters?
Yes. Yes.
So the whole addition's water meters are covered?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was brought up to, I believe yourself one time when you were out walking the neighborhood. And I assume they would do stand-ups, collars on the water meters so that they would be flush with the ground, but been patient.
Are they actually beneath the ground or just covered?
Beneath the ground.
Yeah.
Below level.
Okay, so they all need to be raised.
Sort of like the fire hydrant, the top of the fire hydrant is, well, the ground is here, and the top of the fire hydrant is here. The fittings to hook the hoses on are down here.
It needs to be extended up also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Glad,
Thank you for your time.
First, I think that we've heard of this, so
Now,
I'm glad you brought it up.
we have it on record.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Glad you brought it up. Anyone else from the audience that would like to speak? Now is the time. Please come forward and take your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Elizabeth Trickey, and I live at 1208 Riley. I am not one of the lucky few that have their house paid off. So, and I am a single mom, so I have a limited income, and I live from paycheck to paycheck. So, one of the things that, when this all started, we agreed to have this happen because we wanted the irrigation. That was the main thing. I think prior to that, because I've had the house for 17 years, I know that they put that proposal before us, and most of us are pretty cheapskates over in that area, so we would turn down the proposal every year. So we agreed to that. So I was really interested in the fact that you did say that of the amount of the total, that there was like $56,000 that the city of Haysville was willing to pay. I would like to know how much of that is broken down to what was part of the irrigation problem to begin with, because to me, that's the portion that the city of Haysville should actually have ownership to. That's just my feeling.
Now, you say irrigation, are you talking about drainage or irrigation?
The actual drainage, which
Yes.
was the whole reason why we all agreed to go ahead and have all of this work done.
The
was
city
because-
paid for all the drainage.
For all of the drainage.
What the city's paying is for the drainage, for the curb and gutters, the water will truly run to that and to the end of where the new holdings were built down there.
Okay,
City paid for those.
okay. And then I'm also going to tack on about the grass, because I just think that needs to be brought up again. And the only other thing that I was going to ask, because, and it also tacks on to the interest rate. So are we going to get notified to all of that before this is brought before us? I mean,
You will be notified of what it's going to be.
Okay.
Yes, but it won't, but the ordinance basically will be already acted on tonight.
And so my question is let's say it's just like at a 6%. With it being 15 years, will that calculate and break out between that 15 years, and that's calculated into your total assessment when each whatever 6 months is due as far as the property paying out? Is that how that breaks out?
And usually, we hope it's below 6%.
Yeah, I do too,
Most of
but
our rates
isn't
are
that
usually
municipal bonds?
below that. But when you get your tax bill, you usually have a spot that shows your real estate taxes. There'll be a separate one that'll show special assessments showing what your total is due.
Okay.
And so that assessment then will be for the full year, but they'll say you can pay half of it in May and half of it in December is what it amounts to.
Okay.
So, and hopefully, most municipalities are, don't hold me to this, but a lot of them are running in the 2s or low 3s, I think. What's some of them been going for?
You're going to put me on the spot with that one.
Yeah, we're not going to hold anyone to it.
Sure. I would say that I would be hopeful that the city's rates would turn up right in the 2s to 3s for a 15-year. The way that the bond payments work is they're amortized over 15 years with level debt service, and so what's typical is to match those assessments up to provide the level assessment each year to match up with the level debt service on the bond payments.
Right.
And so that's where you get basically the two directly relate to each other in most cases.
Municipalities usually can borrow at a lower rate than what individuals can borrow at because people buying these bonds, the interest is tax-free to them. That's why people will buy the bonds, and our bond rating is a good high bond rating, so that's why we'll usually get a lower interest rate.
Okay. And then the last question I had was, in the event that there is a decision to put the house on the market, how does this whole assessment of the bond figure into that?
It basically becomes assessed to the property, so anyone that would buy that property truly is buying it with whatever that spatial assessment may be.
Okay, so like, if you were to put it on, let's say I was to say that, because like my personal property was like, I think 108,000. So if I was to try and sell it for 120, I would need to keep in mind that that 12,000 needs to be figured into the 120 is what you're saying.
You would not pay it because it is truly assessed to that property. Whoever buys that property will be buying it with a spatial assessment to the property. It doesn't stay with you, it stays on the property.
Okay, that was my last question. That was all I
Okay,
had.
great, thank you.
Thank you.
We're still public in the public hearing. Anyone else that would like to speak, please come forward.
Rhonda Lunga, 316 South Sunnyside. I had one question. The letter says, if we want to pay it in full, it has to be about July 30th. Well, that's just about a month. When would we be getting that notification?
Bonds itself will be sold just immediately after we...
Yeah, the sale is slated for August 13th.
Yeah, and tonight, basically, we'll be breaking it out. We have your lot, basically, there. You'll pay that, you don't pay interest on it. If you pay it in full is what it amounts to.
Okay, but when would we get paperwork so that we can do that?
Do you know what lot yours is?
Lot 3, Block D.
We have that broken out now by lot on what we're acting on tonight. So we can tell you exactly what that is. And you're on Dirk Street, which street?
Sunnyside.
Which edition? Orchard Acres or Dirk? Orchard Acres.
Orchard Acres, yes.
Orchard Acres, which lot?
Lot 3, Block D.
Block B?
D.
D is in David. Lot 3, Block D, $12,830.85.
Okay, well, I understand that, but it says if we want to pay it off, it needs to be about July 30th.
Right.
Are we going to get a bill?
I can help answer that. What's typical under the special assessment law is immediately after this meeting, probably sometime this week, the city will work with its financial advisor and send a statement of assessment to each property owner that is assessed pursuant to the ordinance with instructions.
And that'll give us instructions, because we would, if we do want to pay it off, we have to have time to liquidate some assets. Okay, so we'll be notified
So,
shortly.
a little over 30 days away.
Okay.
And ma'am, can you please say your name again for me?
Rhonda Lunga, L-U-N-G-A.
L-U-N-G-A. And 330?
316 South Sunnyside.
Oh, 316. Okay, thank you very much.
Anyone else?
I'm Don Yoder at 1200 East Peach Avenue. I just had a couple of questions.
Sure.
I don't know about these. Are these assessments considered taxes?
They are a spatial tax is what they're considered.
Now, when we get, I don't have my house paid off either.
Yeah.
When we get these notifications, is there some way where we can roll these into our escrows?
Well,
with our mortgages?
what happens if you have a mortgage? Usually your mortgage holder will get done and on like an annual basis. If your taxes would go up, they'll really usually re-am and they'll change your payment. So what may happen with your mortgage lender, I can't say 100% with your mortgage lender, but usually your mortgage lender will re-am your payment to include taxes, insurance, spatial assessments.
But we'll get some notification of how much that's, so
That
they
will,
can...
but that
they
will
can
come
do
from
that.
your mortgage company itself.
Okay. And also, back before all this construction started in one of these meetings, there was discussions about wells to lower the water table if we ever had another flood, like what caused all this in the first place. Has that been...
That was from the, out on hydraulic area is where they were talking about doing that.
Oh,
It wasn't on any of this area.
Okay.
That was hydraulic.
All right, thank you.
Sure. Anyone else?
Roger Johnson, 1211 Peach. Got several questions. First, I like what was done over there with the curb and gutter. That's really made a difference in the whole neighborhood. First question is there on Peach, there's no speed limit sign. There's one down on Riley, but there's none on Peach. I called Public Works and they told me that they wasn't gonna put one up there.
You can take mine. It's right on the corner of my house.
But it seems that,
Abide by the speed limit out
Yeah,
there
they
anyway.
just drive through 30 miles per
oh
hour.
man, they come smoking down through there.
Okay.
Because the only way coming in is there on Blossom as you come in. And you come down Peach, there's nothing, never been there, we've been there since '96, and there's never been one there. Since dirt roads was bad enough, but boy, when they got something smooth, I mean, they fly down through there. You know, there's no need for it. Another question is I called Public Works about the trash service. Drivers, as they come in, if you've ever drove a 10-wheeler, you got a parking brake, and when you apply that, it locks up your front two tires. And when they do that, it just leaves big skid marks.
Right.
There's a pair of them right in front of my neighbor, Rhonda
I got a
Longus,
picture.
and she's got a picture of it.
Yes, those are illegal to be used in the city. So we will be contacting trash companies and letting them know.
They tear up the street, send them a bill.
That's correct.
Well,
Yes,
they tore it up.
we didn't put the streets in to have trash companies tear them up.
Another one is those, I guess you call them a boom or something in front of the catch basins. They're just like a big sponge. They're big green things just strung across there. Some of them have been moved.
They need to all be removed.
Because I noticed one down there on Riley, it's, the water was really backed up down there until it soaked through that.
They put them up basically to control the
Yes.
erosion, but once the project is done, they're supposed to be removed.
They're not.
They will be.
Other than that, I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Good evening, my name is Deborah Mahusky. I live at 1905 West Schoolhouse, a new resident of Haysville. I grew up down here and moved away and came back home recently and just got married April 4th.
Okay.
I just finished a term in office on Wichita District 6 Advisory Board with City Council. I've been listening to your people commenting about their neighborhood. I wanted to make a suggestion as to what to do about the people speeding through. Something we did, we stuck sawhorses out there with caution signs on them as far as construction. And if they have obstacles, they slow down. Whether there's any construction or not, you put those out there, randomly along, and they don't speed down through anymore. Another thing we did was we put out signs if there were children playing and start fining them for going down through a speed limit other than what should have been used. It worked tremendously. I lived up in the area where, 21st Street North in Wellington Place. I'm chairman of the Nutrition Council at La Familia Senior Center still. They haven't turned loose on me yet. And we had a lot of little kids up in there, a lot of elderly people. And we had to slow people down.
Okay.
And they tend to, especially if they drink on Friday night or get paid or something, zoom through. So little obstacles here and there, just put a sign up and make it look like there's a little bit of wet cement or something, and you'll be surprised they slow down really well, whether anything's done or not.
Okay. Appreciate your comment. Thank you.
Dave Sheffield, I live at 329 South Twin Pines Avenue.
Did you say Dave Sheffield?
Sheffield,
Thank you.
A couple of complaints, besides the grass. I live on a corner lot, and when they was doing the work, they would block off the corner, and they drove their equipment across the yard. A couple of people even drove across my fresh concrete after it set a couple of days. But anyway, where they drove this heavy equipment across there, it packed it down. Then when they smoothed it off, it's settled down, and there's some sharp drop-offs. When I run my lawnmower, it'll cut it to the ground where those drop-offs are. And I didn't have that problem before.
Okay, so we got your address for sure then, okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, if not, I'm moving on in the public hearing. We covered any questions from the public to the council, and now entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Mr. Dunn?
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Rodden?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Spinner?
Yes.
Harden?
Yes.
Crump?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
The public hearing is now closed, and we are to be entertaining the consideration of the ordinance. Council want to make a motion on the ordinance? Mr. Crump?
I make a motion that we approve an ordinance levying special assessments on certain property paid for the cost of internal improvements in the city of Haysville, Kansas, as previously authorized by resolution number 17-03 and 17-04 of the city, and providing for the collection of such special assessments.
Second.
Vote second to approve the ordinance for the special assessments as presented. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Rodden?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Spinner?
Yes.
Harden?
Yes.
Crump?
Yes.
Thompson?
Good. We'll then move on into our next item, which is B, an ordinance amending the zoning and planning code of the city of Haysville, Kansas. You're all welcome to stay if you'd like.
We're just getting started.
Thank you, council.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what'd I do with that? I did it here, now I clicked it off. I have to do my written one. We'll just kind of wait here a second. I lost my...
The rest will go much faster.
Okay, we're at item B, an ordinance amending the zoning and planning code of the city of Haysville, Kansas. What would you like to do with this ordinance, council? Anyone want to approve it? Mr. Crump?
The only change on this was the tiny houses, correct?
Yes. Yeah, all the changes were made on the 5 feet and the HOA, so those are already in here, yes.
Okay. If there's no other discussion, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the ordinance amending the zoning and planning code of the city of Haysville, Kansas as presented.
Motion second to approve the ordinance amending the zoning and planning code of the city of Haysville, Kansas. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Rodden?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Spinner?
Yes.
Harden?
Yes.
Crump?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Move on to item C, an ordinance amending chapter 17 of the code of the city of Haysville, Kansas. This is your amending the fees. One thing that you also need to know, you'll need to make your motion to approve the fees for outside of the area of our city limits, and that amount is at $3.92. That was the increase from the previously, so that they're getting the same increase as everyone else.
And that is outside the area of...
Outside the city limits.
Well, outside of the KDHA.
That's just, yes, yes. Yeah. Everyone that was within the KDHE is still paying the same, which is there also, and then outside the city limits. So we would need a motion to do what you want with this ordinance. Ms. Parton?
I make a motion, we approve the changes to the code, chapter 17, for water service rates, infrastructure fees, and then the water fees, and also the water change fees for the those outside the city limits.
Second.
Motion second to approve the ordinance as presented on the changes to the Chapter 17. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Ewart?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
No.
Thompson?
No.
Move on to item D, it's a resolution of the governing body of Haysville, Kansas, adjusting the stormwater utility users fees. Would like to make a motion on that one? Everyone's a little giddy tonight. Ms. Putnam?
I make a motion, we accept the resolution for the adjusting the stormwater utility user fee.
Second.
Motion second to approve the stormwater adjustment users fee. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Ewart?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Item 4, no communications. A, government body announcements. Any announcements that the governing body may have? Mr. Crump?
The library, on the 27th, so here in a couple of days, a 10 o'clock performance is by a group called Flux, PHLOX. I'm not sure what they do, but I know they've had great performances all summer long at the library on those, so I'm sure that's going to be another fun performance. And again, that's at 10 o'clock on Wednesday, I believe. The next Meeple Mayhem will be June 30th at 10:30, when they get together and play some unusual board games. July 2nd will be the next movie night, and it's at 6 o'clock, and they'll be showing Camp Rock. Tuesday, July 3rd, at 6:30 will be the next Horticulture Club meeting. I believe they meet down in the basement of the library, and just a reminder that they will be closed on July 4th for Independence Day, and the next Lego Club Day will be on July 12th. Those are things going on at the library.
Have some announcement from the Senior Center for Tuesday, tomorrow, Tuesday 26th. There's game night from 6 to 9. Wednesday 27th, Panatera Bread, 8 a.m. You have pastries and coffee while you're there. Friday, June 30th, Texas Hold'em at 9 a.m. Play cards at 9 in the morning, and yes, you guys need to be awake at that point. Monday, July 2nd, Planning Committee meeting at 12:30. And Wednesday, July 4th will be no lunch meals because that center is closed. Any other announcements, council? Seeing none, we'll then move on into item B. We had a thank you letter and photographs from the Haysville Saturday Club regarding the rodeo that was put on, which was a good success. Item 5, old business, we have nothing. Item 6, other business, we have nothing. Item 7, department reports. A, administrative services. Zach?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have one announcement. We have this Saturday, the first of the summer series of cruise-in events. We're partnering with Cars for the Cause that was hosting the cruise-in at Tacoville in the parking lot. They kind of overgrown their space there, so we've collaborated with them. We're going to move it to the farmers market. There'll be food trucks. There'll be live music in the gazebo. It's the final Saturday of every month, 5 to 9 p.m. There'll be fire performers will be there this week. The blacksmith shop will be open, and the bank will be open. So we kind of threw it together for this month of June, but we're prepared for the rest of the summer. Everything's booked, so we're kind of on cruise control. No pun intended. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach. City Clerk, Jamie?
I got jokes.
Dad jokes.
No claim to bad jokes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. City offices will be closed on Wednesday, July 4th. Also, just a reminder, primary election is August the 7th, and registration closes on Tuesday, July 17th for that election.
Thanks, Jenny. Police Chief?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a couple things real quick. If you've looked at the calendar, you may know that it's getting close to July 4th. And July 4th is our infamous firework time of the year. So later this week, we'll start hearing our fireworks going off at all hours of the day and hopefully not the night. But just want to remind everybody what the actual detonation times are in the city. So from June 27th through July 2nd, they can detonate fireworks from 8 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Now on July 3rd and 4th, it's 8 a.m. to midnight. So they can go a little bit later on the 3rd and the 4th. So keep that in mind. Also with that, 911 has again this year arranged to have their special number available for people to call in case there are issues that are not emergencies but have to do with noise complaints or loud parties, fireworks, things like that. Now that line will be available June 30th, July 1st, and July 2nd, and the 3rd and 4th from 6 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. So those times will be, that line will be activated. The number is 290-1011. And I realize I just rattled off a whole bunch of times and phone numbers and that kind of stuff. It is on our website, it's on our Facebook page, it's on Channel 7. We put it out there a bunch of different places, so just keep that in mind that there is an alternative number for non-emergency calls. If something's on fire or somebody blows something up, then obviously call 911 because we need to get out there as quick as we can. We don't need to go through the secondary number. So, but the other things, please call that other number for. Finally, our visiting officer this evening is Master Police Officer Mark Mullen. He's currently assigned to the afternoon evening shift, so say hi to him as you go by out there. And I believe that's all I've got. We will be open on the 4th of July, so if you want to need anything, just call 911.
We hope you're not real open.
No. Thanks.
Keeping it going.
How it works, Tony?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. On June 16th at the water plant, we began experiencing problems with our high service pump that supplies water from the water plant to the water tower. We do have a backup of this motor pump, but at the time, we immediately contacted Lane Christensen for repairs. They pulled the motor. At that time, they discovered that the 4 impellers that pump the water to the water tower were very deteriorated. At that time, the mayor authorized emergency repairs with Lane Christensen in the amount of $16,714.42. And this was installed past Saturday morning. So I wanted you guys to be aware of that. Also this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the City Hall parking lot will be the Sedgwick County Household Hazardous Waste. Anybody can bring any chemicals or paint. Also, July 4th, Public Works Department is closed, but for after-hours water or wastewater needs, you can call the police dispatch at 529-5912. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. And Recreation, Georgie.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As the Mayor stated earlier, July is Parks and Recs Month. There is a calendar of events that will be on the back of the 4th of July schedule, and it'll also be on the webpage and Facebook. Lists different activities that are going on in the city. Blood drive at the library, family movie night over in the park, Zach's cruising nights, swim lessons, different things that are going on. And then also just highlighting on there that we'll be selling discounted single pool passes. Those will start July 1st, and then a membership drive at the activity center that will start on July 1st as well. 4th of July, as everyone has stated, is right around the corner. We will be kicking off the day at 8:30 in the morning with the parade. We'll start at the old middle school and go to United Methodist Church. Sand volleyball will be going on. Today is the last day to enter for that. We will have the fishing derby. It will start at 9:30. Frog races immediately afterwards at 11:15. Obstacle course, 11:45. We'll be serving those kids hot dogs and drinks in the park that are participating. Then raft races at the pool. Water carnival at the pool will be from 1 to 6. Citizen of the Year announcement will be 7:15. Beer garden will be from 6 to 10. Lindberry Wine will be playing from 7:30 to 9:45. And then, of course, fireworks at 9:45. So this is all on Facebook, webpage. These flyers will be out at the tents, so all the information is out there. Hopefully everybody can come out and have a safe holiday.
Swim meet.
What's that?
A large swim meet then.
Swim meet finals is coming up on July 13th and 14th. The pool will be closed on that Friday and Saturday to the public for the swim meet. Splash pad will still be open. There'll be a large amount of traffic that will be over in that area, so if you don't have to go over there, I wouldn't, unless you're going to the swim meet, but there will be a lot of people over there in the immediate area with campers, and it is an all-day event. People will be there just around that area, so just so everyone knows.
Right.
right,
Thank you, Georgie.
So is the hack open on the 4th?
The hack is not open on the 4th because we run the 4th.
Who ran the 4th?
Item 8, appointments. A, Bob Wethington, 309 West 6th Street. He is reappointment Planning Commission, Ward 3, for a 3-year term. Mr. Crum?
I make a motion, we allow you to appoint Bob Wethington, 309 West 6th Street, for reappointment for Planning Commission from Ward 3, and this is a 3-year term.
Second.
Motion second to approve Bob Wethington's appointment. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Hewert?
Yes.
Binner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item B, Louetta Leoder, 141 Wayne. This is reappointment to the Park Board for a 2-year term. Mr. Crum?
I make a motion that we have you reappoint Louetta Yoder, 141 Wayne, to the Park Board for a 2-year term.
Second.
Motion second to approve Louetta Yoder's appointment. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Hewert?
Yes.
Binner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item C, Ken Bell, 138 Ranger, a reappointment to the Park Board, 2-year term. Mr. Walters?
Motion that we
Dang.
allow you to reappoint Ken Bell to the Park Board for a 2-year term.
Second.
Motion second to approve Ken Bell's appointment. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Hewert?
Yes.
Binner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item 9, opposition citizen to be heard. Anyone that would like to speak to council, now is the time. Seeing no one, we'll go on to 10, executive session. We have none. Item 11, bills be paid. A, bill be paid for the last half of June. Ms. Zewert?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we allow you to pay the last half of June bills.
Second.
Motion second, to pay the last half of June bills. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Hewert?
Yes.
Binner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item 12, consent agenda. We have nothing. Item 13, council items. A, council concerns. Mr. Crum?
Tony, I just noticed this today when I was driving home from work. The apron at Apple and Willow is really starting to crack up on the seam on the Apple side. Can we get that looked at, please? And that was all for you, Tony. I just kind of wanted to talk for a second to the citizens. Right now, the state, actually the country, is in a mental health crisis. We had a young gentleman that committed suicide last night, shortly, just a year out of high school. And I want people to know that if they're having problems, to please reach out to somebody. Calm Cares in Wichita, they have the Sedgwick County Suicide Hotline, which that number is 316-660-7500. And I would also like to ask that perhaps we put that number on Channel 7, just so that that's always there. If you believe somebody's having problems, please talk to them. If you are having problems, please call somebody, reach out to somebody. We don't need people doing this to themselves and their loved ones. There's help out there, and they need to ask for help, and we need to offer that help. So I would ask that we please put that number on Channel 7 and maybe even somewhere on the website if possible. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any other council concerns, council? Seeing none, we'll move on then to item B, council action requests, updates.
In regards to 6415 Keystone, same as last time, the notice to appear has been issued and the court date is scheduled for July 17th. For 6400 Osage, the court date is scheduled for August 7th, 2018. For 301 Ranger, contact was attempted to be made at this property. Notification letter was sent out on June 19th. I was updated today that they did mow this weekend.
Thank you. Thanks, Tony. Item 14, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Ms. Parton?
Second. Turn the light on.
Second.
Motion is second to adjourn. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Stewart?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
That's what that lady said. She didn't think she should have